Hey everybody, it's been a long time coming, but this is at least a minor update on the Martinson build. If you remember, I started this, good lord, 2 years ago now. Found a 6-string Martinson on the wall at Cream City Music, bought it, proceeded to gut it because of electronics issues and some other setup type things. Bought Delano pickups, got a Aguilar OBP3 preamp, and that's pretty much as far as I've gotten with it. And the reason for that, well, there's multiples. First off, I have a toddler. Secondly, my second son is going to be born in the next 2 days. So it's been a crazy 9 months or so of just a lot of different stuff happening. So I've not been able to get to this before today. First day of spring break, probably the first of 2 days I'm going to get of it. So I'm going to give you just a quick update of what's going on and kind of tell you what the next steps are on this. So the first thing you'll notice is I have the pickups in. They're very rough in. They're just screwed kind of into the cavity wood. And you can see underneath there's some of that really not amazing routing I had showed you guys the last time. And the pickups themselves are pretty far off pretty far down on the string, especially on the treble side. But progress. I wanted to place them in here just to make sure I could get them more or less centered with the strings, and this one's a little too far this way, but it's in there as a rough. Now, how the hell I'm going to get the pickup covers on, I have no earthly idea. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Because you can see, like, this is where the pickup covers used to be. Now, I'll show you guys what those look like in case you forgot. So, these guys go over top of these. Now, in the original build, these pickup covers here were hot glued onto the old pickups. And what they did is they shaved off all of these bits here to hot glue the pickups on, and then you can see the mounting holes in there matched up with the mounting holes in the pickup tops. Now, I don't necessarily want to do that. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do to attach it. I'm going to be phoning a friend, which I'll talk about momentarily. But they're in. Now, if I flip this over, oh, that's not good. The OBP3 preamp is in roughly, and I say roughly because, I mean, my God, look at the rat's nest in here. But the front humbucker is wired in parallel currently. Obviously, the ground is, that's not really OSHA approved, but that's okay. But everything's in, and believe it or not, it functions. I'll show you that. And we're working. Now this is with everything pretty much flat. Oh, I had the lows up a little bit. But more or less everything. Now I currently have everything running through my X32 to stereo speakers because I was doing some other experimenting, but it's relatively well balanced. Obviously intonation's not great. The low strings speak way more than the high, and that makes sense because the low side, the bass side of the pickups are way higher than the treble side. Partly because I think the cavities are actually routed deeper on those sides. So based on just where I can get my finger, well, all the way down where it's actually routed down to, yes, the treble side is actually routed deeper. That's another thing to fix. But preamp's good, it's working, and I think it was some tweaking, it'll be good. Now, the output on this is not very hot. I know that this system can do 9 volt or 18. I chose 9 because I barely know how I'm going to fit everything in the cavity as it is. So that could be an issue. other issues, the string height is okay. Problem is I've got buzz. And I know that there's a bit of a hump in the neck around here, at least as of the last time I really took a good close look at it. But if you look here at the truss rod adjustment, I can't get an Allen wrench in there really to get anything adjusted properly. The screw holes, which you can't quite see, and it would be very hard to show you. The screw holes are really super narrow, and the end of the truss rod, where it goes in, it's not on center. It's a little bit off on either side. So when the truss rod access was cut, it wasn't cut super evenly. So I can't get a truss rod wrench in there to save my life. I got like 1/8 of a turn on one of them, but I cannot get that adjusted. Since I can't put any more relief in the neck because it's pretty flat, even accounting for the hump, I mean, we have a business card or so at the 7th fret. That's typically not great. And then it's completely flat on the treble side. Like there's basically no relief at all. So I got to get the truss rods balanced. Then I can actually drop the bridge down, because the bridge itself has a lot of adjustment down. There's no way that it needs to be that high if I can get the neck adjusted right. And between that and the project of how the heck to get these pup covers to work, that takes me to my phone a friend. Darren Michaels out of Georgia is a good friend of the bass community, and been talking with him through a number of different things, including just even before I bought this, like a consultation, because I know he's worked on Martinsons before, and then also just like other stuff. There's a bass that's being built right now that I'm looking forward to demoing for you guys in about 5 or 6 months when it's done. But he offered to help me put this sucker together and do the final touches. And like I said in the intro, I don't have time for the final touches. Like this, I took 2 hours today and I got this functional. This is 2 hours that I should have been able to get to way before today. But it shows kind of where my time is in terms of at a premium right now, with the new kid coming and everything like that. So this bass's next stop is going to be Darren Michaels' home shop down in Georgia, where he's going to hopefully walk me through what I did well, what I should probably maybe not do at all next time, versus what I could be doing next time to make things a little bit better. Obviously, there's a lot of electronics cleanup that I'm going to try to do at least a little bit of that before I send it down there. But he may end up shortening some wires to make it all tuck a little bit nicer anyway. This is a solderless kit, so everything's kind of long, so it's for adjustability's sake. Probably don't need, we could probably cut a foot of cable out of this thing. And then, yeah, be able to get these pickups a little bit closer up to the strings, because when you play with the blend, so that's in the bridge pickup, and you can definitely tell that the bass side speaks way harder than the treble side. And even like just getting between them, it's like a sudden kick over, and that might be one of those, like, maybe this pickup should be run in series instead of in parallel. Parallel is what they recommended, that's what I went with. Maybe it should be run in series. When it's soloed on its own, sounds pretty good. A little bit of mid, a little bit of low. It's pretty aggressive. But if I roll the trebles up, the treble up, that's like a ridiculous amount of high end. Like high ends, that's a sizzle I don't know if I would ever use. But some of that could just be from the treble side, the pickups being so far displaced that a lot of those frequencies are just getting lost. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Darren can pull with this thing. and see if we can get it the rest of the way. There's some other little stuff too. I'm not entirely convinced that the bridge is exactly centered with the neck, just based on, you know, how the strings are going, you know, just how things are lining up. It just seems like there's a lot of little stuff that with my current time constraints, I'm just not able to hit. So anyway, that's your Martinson update. Apologies for how long it's taken to get this thing to you. And hopefully the next time you see this, it's going to be buttoned up and ready to play. You know, take out on a gig, take to school and teach with. That's kind of my number one priority with this, is I want a bass that I can take to school and teach with, because while I love my Scholds, I don't necessarily need to take a bass of that caliber to teach middle and high school with. So it would be nice to have something built that I love the sound of and can use to teach with. So here's hoping that's this bass. Thanks so much for watching this update.